Hello, everyone. You're here for another episode of the Date Podcast. How's everyone doing?
Hi, good.
We're here with Emma. And,
hi, everyone.
And Taty.
Hey.
And what shows are you guys watching? Because I love Netflix.
Me too. So I speak Spanish, and my sister got me watching this show that's actually from Spain, and so they speak like the actual, the traditional Spanish, and I had to put subtitles on it because sometimes they say things and I don't understand their beautiful Spanish accents. But it's called The Grand Hotel. It's like a murder mystery in a hotel. Like, who done it? And each season there's a mystery, but there's like two mysteries, and one of them will get you to the second season and the third season. So
with the same people or different people?
Yeah, the same people, and sometimes there's like new actors coming in. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, it sounds. I want to watch.
Like
let's watch it right now. Yeah.
But it's not. Actually yesterday I was watching this one episode and the girl was like ugly crying, and I was laughing hysterically because how she was crying, it sounded like she was laughing, and it even kind of looked like she was laughing but with tears coming down her face. So I was cracking up.
Ugly crying. That's like me when the Cowboys lose. Like, I'm ugly crying.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Especially with this news that you guys have.
Oh, Des Bryant. Mm-hmm. He's our man. But he's gone.
He's gone.
We're letting him go. Yeah,
why?
Des. First of all, we can go 5 hours on this.
Stupid.
Never mind. I opened the wrong can of worms.
Anyway, Taty,
that was Pandora's box.
Yeah.
So, I kind of saw his tear coming out.
Yeah. What do you got going on?
You really don't want to know, honey. I am watching everything under the sun.
What's the last episode you watched?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Bloodline on Netflix.
What is that?
Bloodline. I'm in season 1, and I was told about it from a girl that I met. Basically, it's about a family originating out of Florida, and the mom and dad built this like a hotel resort bed and breakfast type situation, and they're known infamously, and they are having like some award ceremony, and all the kids have to come back. And, there's like 5. And, of course, every kid has their own issue. Like, one's a drug addict, one died, one's a detective, one's a lawyer. And all this family drama starts coming out.
Ooh, nice.
Murders and drugs and
cool.
business.
Everything that's interesting.
So family drama. Yeah. And are the parents trying to cover it?
The parents don't necessarily know towards the end, but one of the parents dies, and it kind of just makes everything more intense. So I'm kind of going back and forth between Bloodline and Ozark. Something about, money and drugs right now are just on my mind.
Okay. All right.
But, so that's what I've been binge watching.
Okay. So everyone watch The Grand Hotel and Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodline. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good.
If you like subcaptions in English, watch my show. If you don't, then it's okay to skip it.
Yeah. So if you're swiping and watching that show, you probably will miss everything, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't swipe when I'm on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. So our first topic today is I guess it's when someone's in a relationship, or maybe not a serious relationship.
Like dating.
Dating. And there's a weird point where you have that conversation, or maybe you don't have that conversation. But the point is, when do you get off dating apps?
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question.
Yeah. And it says here, if you've met someone through a dating app and aren't entirely sure where a relationship is headed, chances are that you might be keeping an eye out. So it's that FOMO, right?
Fear of missing out.
But I think the issue there is...
like, what is the person that you're dating going to think?
Well, maybe there's just no boundaries. What do you think, Taty?
I'm a person who communicates. So up front, right off the bat, what are we doing? Where is this going to go?
Is this like on the first date, or are you waiting a few dates?
Waiting a few dates. I typically don't have a back burner. That's what I call it. It's not
a breadcrumb.
Yeah, not very nice. But I typically don't have a back burner. I don't have time to entertain a bunch of people. So are we dating or are we just hanging out as friends?
But when though? What is it? The second date, third date, for a month, or you just kind of feel it?
I just kind of feel it depending on how the conversation goes. And then I'd say, okay, are you going to keep your app up? Or are you going to keep, are you going to take it down? I normally don't suggest taking it down. We're not married. You can do what you want. But be respectful of me, and I'll be respectful of you.
But the thought that comes to my mind is then if you have been dating this person for a while, maybe let's say like you've been dating them for like a month and a half, 2 months, and you are noticing that like you are more committed to this person that you thought, at the beginning. So like the further that the relationship continues, like when do you have that conversation then?
I have been exploring open relationships and poly.
Okay.
The poly lifestyle. So for me, communication
can you
is...
talk about what those are?
Well, they are both very different. But I don't believe in just loving one person at one time. So I would love personally to find someone who is okay with me loving them as much as I love someone else for both different reasons. But the foundation just has to be respect.
Okay.
100%. So if we are dating and we decide to go either the open relationship route or going poly, that communication line has to stay open.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep your app going, totally fine. But once things progress from, meeting someone and potentially liking that person and taking them on a date, that's something that we need to communicate so that there is respect between all three parties or all four, whoever, whatever number is involved.
So have you guys...
I've never limited someone saying, oh, hey, we're dating now, you have to turn your app off. But I have been questioned, though. Oh, I saw that you signed in. And I'm like, don't check up on me.
So, well, hold on.
So then, go.
No, go.
Okay, so my follow-up question to that is, so then is this other person like wanting more of a like monogamous relationship at this point?
And that's something that we determine early on in the conversations. I don't necessarily have a timeline where it has to be discussed by the first date or the second date. It literally just goes with the flow. But it's pretty much within the first couple of days of speaking. I'm upfront with what I want, what I'm looking for.
Okay. So intimacy is not involved at this point?
No.
Okay. So if you've kissed, then...
I know that changes things.
Yeah. If you've kissed the person, then it's you and him or her.
What do you mean if I've kissed them?
Like if you've crossed the boundary of, making out or something, or...
Then that means that we're in a relationship?
Or does it?
No,
That's a
doesn't.
question. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Not to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's good to talk about it, like you said up front. It's definitely important. But sometimes there's an unspoken language of, we've slept together.
Absolutely.
Right? And then sometimes there's not even a conversation there too. So, I mean, I would recommend before you even do that, talking about it.
Yeah, because I think it helps both parties like be on the same page and both be aware of what the other person's expecting, to where you're not setting yourself up for failure or heartbreak. Because, one of the worst things that can happen to you is if you are intimate with someone and then you find out that they're still on Bumble or Tinder or dating other people, and then it's kind of like, wait, I thought we were intimate or exclusive because we were intimate, and the other person's like, no.
And that's why I am upfront.
Right. Yeah.
I know what rejection feels like, and it absolutely sucks. And I don't want to be on the end where I am giving someone that rejection because they misunderstood where I was coming from.
Yeah, and it also says here in the article that 70% of those questioned in their survey here says that being on a dating app while in a relationship is an act of infidelity.
Yeah.
Right, because it goes back to, one of the episodes we spoke about was Esther Perel, and so a lot of her work is done on infidelity, and she always says that infidelity, can look very differently to people, but what it comes down to is that break of trust, is that break of whatever commitment y'all had and what that signifies, to the people involved in the couple. It's that break.
And as
that
irritating
happens.
as it may be, you have to discuss that. What do you count as cheating? It can be
Oh, yes.
holding a hand. It can be flirting.
It can
Everyone
be just
has their
texting
limits.
someone,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Yeah. And I think the trap that we all fall into is that we think that everyone thinks like us, so we all
No.
have the same rules. So
No, and that's why I have the job that I have.
yeah, to tell people that, hey, everyone is different. Everyone has different expectations, and just because I hold your hand doesn't mean we're in a relationship, but it might mean
Right.
that to you guys.
Right.
So it's something that must be clarified.
Right.
Right.
And one of the things that they do try to be clear about is that it should be something more requested from a place of like I statements instead of demanded. Because if you're demanding something, the
You're
other
making it feel like a
person's-
child.
Right, and the other person's not going to respond because it is more like chastising, and it's unrealistic to expect that someone else is going to have the same value that you have.
Correct. Correct.
Because it's we all have different values. We all have different things that make us who we are.
Especially as
Exactly.
you get older.
Mm-hmm.
When you're younger, you're a little more molded.
Yes.
Molded
Uh-huh.
with society on what you're going to accept and what you're not going to. But usually by the time you're older, you've kind of gone through the ringer and you put your foot down.
And you're like,
Yeah.
no, this is what I want, and this is what I will
Exactly. This is cheating. This is okay.
Mhm.
Are you okay with that? If not, it was very nice to meet you.
get. Right.
So you're saying don't demand, but use I statements.
Right.
So if I'm saying, Emma, I think we've been through a lot together. Maybe that's not a good
Yes.
thing. And-
Continue.
And we both share the same values. We both like each other. Do you think it's time for us to get off the dating apps? Is that something
Yeah,
that
I
someone
think
could
that
should
yeah,
say?
totally.
It's very simple. It's
Yeah.
very to the point.
Totally. And you're coming from a place of like you, so the I statement kind of makes it less judgmental and makes it less accusatory. And so versus like, Zorric, you need to get off the dating app because we've been in a relationship for a while now.
I saw you signed in. What are you doing?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Oh my
See the
gosh.
difference of the tone, like
Yeah.
I'm more willing to say like, you know what, Zorric, you're right. Yeah, let me think about this. We have been dating. Like I think this needs to change versus, what? You're checking in on me? No, I'm not going to do it now. Just because you want to be argumentative about it.
Mhm. So how would you guys add? So the question is called WAWA. Where
Oh,
are
yeah.
we anyway? What are we anyways?
Mhm.
Have you heard of that acronym,
I
Taty?
have not.
Yeah. So that's the what are we question. So how would you
Yes.
broach that subject?
So Zorric, if me and you were dating and I just came up to you and said, okay, so Wawa.
Oh my God. I wouldn't know what that is, but most people don't.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try that.
Mhm.
For me, a definite decision on if we are in a relationship or not is if we are both 100% in understanding on what I want to do in the relationship and what you want to do and where we plan to go. I'm not saying that we need to rush things for the future, but if you can't understand that I may potentially find someone else that I want to be with, and if they respect our base, then they can come in, and however you want to live your life, whether it's going to be mono or poly, that's going to be the ultimate decision on,
Right.
okay, it's time for us to delete our apps, or it's time for us to just be friends. Because I'm friends with a lot of my exes.
Yeah.
I know people think that's an issue.
Yeah, that's an issue, and a whole episode that we can talk about being friends with
Definitely.
with exes. But I think you make a lot of good points about how to clarify when it's
Right.
time and how to bring that up.
Because it doesn't mean you have to end something on a bad term just because you don't agree with
Yeah,
where
Yeah.
you want the relationship to go.
definitely.
Yeah.
So Emma, what are your final thoughts on this article?
Again, I think, like, hey, be on the same page. Don't demand, request, come from places of I statements. If if this is something that you need, that you can't do on your own and you need a little extra help, I know a lot of people that can be helpful. You know, but yeah, it's just more of like, don't assume, don't expect, like just have the conversation and be upfront about it. Hi everyone, this is Emma. I've recently found a dating app I've enjoyed using, Bopsy. Simply, it's video speed dating. Bopsy gives me the ability to meet 6 guys through live video. At the end of each session, I pick either C for like or bot for dislike. When we both like each other, we continue the connection over chat messaging. Check it out today at bopsy.com.
All right, so we have another topic we want to talk about. It's an article called Dating Apps Are for Scheduling Dates People. It's by Patrick Allen. Yes, you guys have to go on dates. It's semi-recent, but we've talked about how people don't message or don't respond. But this guy has a different perspective. So he's trying to tell the readers how to ask people out. And
because I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, and not ask just useless questions. Like, for example, he says just saying hello or hey is useless because it doesn't really go anywhere, right? It's because you have to say hello, and then the other person says hello back, and then you ask how's your day. It's just rocky at the beginning.
I know.
Well, it's kind of like
but that's my
with
comfort.
Tinder. Once you meet that match, that's kind of like your introduction.
Yeah, and that's what I'm comfortable
Your
with.
nonverbal introduction. It's like, oh, we matched. Hey. And then once you get into the message, you don't want to come off, disrespectful.
Yeah.
But a boring hi is,
It's safe and it's comfortable.
but it's too safe.
Yeah. So
It's
hold
way
on.
too safe.
What does it mean when someone says I'm fluent in sarcasm? What is? I see that's in
I see
on
that
so
too.
many bios. What do you guys think?
Are they just like an incredibly sarcastic person that every other word that comes out of the mouth is sarcasm somehow?
I think it kind of just depends on who that individual is because, there are levels to sarcasm.
For sure.
But that's a
And just
tough
remember,
one.
sarcasm can signify some pent up anger somewhere. So
It
have
could
a
be.
lot.
Yeah. So the point of this article, it says you should have an intention of making plans right out the gate.
Yes.
So meaning
Yes.
look at the person's profile and figure out what you guys both have in common.
Yes.
And then say hello and then something. So add hello to something about how let's hang out, and then maybe we can chat about Bloodline.
or Game of Thrones.
or Game of Thrones, or the Grand Hotel,
Yeah.
or something like that. So that's the main purpose of this article. He also says that chatting for too long makes the excitement fizzle.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
I just sometimes the chatting just goes forever and ever
Well, 'cause
and
I'm
ever.
like, why didn't you
Ask for my
it's-
number.
It's Thursday. Why don't you make plans with me so that we can further talk about this in person over a drink or a pizza?
When in the conversation do you think they should ask you out?
Immediately.
Immediately, yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I get very bored very easily.
Okay.
I'm tired of the runaround questions because they're all the same with every single person. Hey, how are you? What are you doing? You got kids? I'm like, did you read my bio?
No, because probably not telling the truth.
Yeah.
I would say immediately.
Yeah.
Hey, I really liked your bio. What are you doing this Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, I have 3 days to figure out what I'm going to wear, where we're going to go, and just leave the conversation to in person.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes you can say too much, and as a
Yes.
man, we're dumb, and we'll say something really stupid.
But you
and-
don't really
And
read what
it's-
we write in
Yeah.
the
And it's
first
quick.
place.
And
Yeah.
it's a quick turn off.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, oh, he said this. Mm-mm.
Right.
yeah. Oh, grammar again.
Oh, he
Again,
spelled there.
grammar.
Oh, wrong there.
He used the wrong there. He used the wrong too, and he spelled y'all incorrectly.
And it's unfortunate that we get on our potential, I add quotes around that, partner so much with grammar because
it's so important. It's so important.
right, because when we are speaking, theirs the same. Oh, I'm going to go over there, but I spelled it TH,
Yeah.
wrong on a piece of paper, which it gets me. I'm a Virgo. I can't really say that it doesn't, but
I'm a visual person, so
same here. But I have tried to do better with myself because there are worse picks.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and I agree with something else he talks about. He says that if you ask somebody right away, then it weeds out the people who don't really want to meet up.
Yeah.
Right? So
But meet up with specific intentions.
yes.
Because just because I want to meet you immediately doesn't mean that I want to be intimate with you immediately.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a hard topic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just because it's a Friday night and we matched at 6:20 doesn't mean that you're getting any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually Friday, maybe starting at 5:00. I will not
You
swipe.
won't? Okay.
So starting Friday to 5:00 and to
That makes sense because you get the hookups.
to Sunday. Yeah, to
hookup
Sunday. So Friday night, Saturday, I'm off because that's exactly what they wanted. I'm not about that life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate because it could be a soulmate somewhere in that weekend batch.
Right. Yeah.
But girl,
It's
I'm
not
with you.
happening.
I'm tired of the 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing? Messages. I'm like, I've been talking to you, for on and off for 3 weeks. Don't message me on a Saturday night at 3 o'clock in the morning
No.
when I've never met you.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Can I make a PSA, men out there?
Yes.
Do not text or call past, I think 9 o'clock, to hang out. To hang
Right.
out.
To hang
Yes.
out. Yes.
Yeah, because it makes us seem desperate, or drunk, or just
Creepy.
Especially being the first time you're meeting the person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, come over. I'm like, oh,
No.
maybe 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
In a public place.
Yeah.
Where there's people around.
I was watching a movie. Well, we can FaceTime because I'm watching a movie too, and I'm not leaving.
So he also says that asking somebody out right off the bat is very gutsy, and it is very gutsy because because when you chat, you get responses back, but when you ask somebody out and there's silence, that sucks. I hate waiting for that reply. Sometimes they say, "Oh yeah, sure, right away," but sometimes they don't.
And that's the day and age of technology
Oh,
because I
yeah.
have a job, and that doesn't mean that I have my phone on me every second of the day.
Correct.
I
yeah.
might not get back to you for 2 hours, but that doesn't mean that I didn't want to go out with you or didn't want to meet up with you.
Right.
It just means that I've lived on this earth for 30 years and had things to do before you came along, and I'm not going to stop them because you finally asked me out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
You're in a meeting, at work, a random meeting could pop up, or you have to talk to your director, or something happen. There's an emergency that you have to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
People are nowadays too hell-bent on, they didn't respond fast enough to me.
Right.
They don't like me. Oh, I'm just going to dismiss
I
them.
don't see the three little blue dots popping up on my iMessages.
Right. Or you
Or is
see
it
them and
gray?
they stopped. And you're like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably checking their grammar for you guys because you guys are so crazy about that.
Yeah, I know. But do you always notice that whenever I send something and I spell it incorrectly, I will correct it immediately?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I have fat thumbs, so
Oh.
everything for me is off
Okay.
on my phone.
Yeah. But I think texting you don't have to be that formal. Well, I guess for friends, maybe not, but
Depends on who you're speaking with.
yeah, yeah. So I guess the gist of the whole article is he's saying just go out, okay, guys? Go out, have a specific time, a place to meet, look at their profile, and look for a commonality and set a date up.
And have the guts to discuss their profile in person and not
Yeah.
over hit and miss messages for a week.
Yeah, and there's just so many ways, there's so many ways we can screw up from right now
too,
to the
though.
date. Oh my gosh.
Women too.
Yeah. Let me just add one more question to you guys. Do you guys call, or do you guys expect phone calls before the date? First
I
date.
do because I want them to hear my voice, and like it or not like it, and kind of make a decision on that. And like same thing with them. I want to know what their voice sounds like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never thought about it. I've never made an expectation. It's definitely something I'll think about from now on. But I've always talked to someone on the phone before I did meet them, but it was never an expectation.
Okay.
It just happened.
Yeah. Some women have to hear a man's voice.
I don't
I've heard
have
that.
to hear it. I prefer to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. So, Taty, do you have any last words for any of these topics? Anything? Any wise words of wisdom to impart on our audience?
Men and women. Let's see. If you are on a dating app and you match and you meet with someone through the internet, a couple conversations, like small conversations, is all it's going to take until you can ask, hey, I really enjoyed what we just discussed. Would you like to go out this upcoming whatever night? I'll go on a date on a Monday. I don't care, but don't ask me a million questions for 3 weeks. You know, you kind of feel, what's the term? Breadcrumbed.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm worth more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So-
She's a cheesecake. No? Okay. Maybe not. Okay. A wedding cake.
Nice.
Okay.
I'll be a cheesecake.
Okay.
I'll be a cheesecake.
Okay. Emma,
Goodness.
do you have anything, Emma, for everyone?
No, we just got to get out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
We do,
Okay.
and not depend so much on the phone.
Okay. Sounds good. And you can find Emma on its_Emma.
That's right. Emma P.
Oh, it's its_Emma P. And Taty, do you have anything, or you want to
Oh,
plug?
I have Instagram. You
Okay.
can find me at hot_tots, TOTZ.
I like that.
For Instagram.
Okay.
I think that's the same for my Snapchat as well. Hot tots,
Okay.
_tots. It's just something that followed me from high school. I wasn't
Okay.
really hot, but it rhymed.
Okay. I like it, though.
So-
yeah. And if you have any questions for Taty, just shoot her a message.
Just message me.
You can find me at Zorric Sia on Instagram. And this is the Date Podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye everyone.